y'all, Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with day 6 of my December daily. And today we are starting in Photoshop for just a minute to show you how I sort of plan and set up my files for printing digital product. When I am using digital product that I haven't already printed, I like to just print what I'm going to use. So I sort of plan my cards in advance, or my anything really, but right now I'm planning cards. So I'm going to be using the page protector that is 2 3x4s and 1 4x6. So I have set that up with just rectangles in my on my Photoshop canvas, and I am resizing my photos to fit within those rectangles. Now, I don't like my photos to take up the entire pocket. I like to mat my photos in with patterned paper. So I am trimming these down to the 3x4 is 2.5 by 3.5, and then the 4x6 is 5.5 by 3.5. So I take off a 1/4 inch around each edge so that I can mat them with a pretty paper. I think I actually did. I did more on that 4x6 just because it was kind of a far away photo and I didn't want it to take up, or I didn't want it, it's just so heavy and black. I wanted to mat it with something a little bit more colorful to make it a little bit more interesting on the page. So I took off a whole inch on either side of that photo, so it ended up being 3x5. Okay, so let me close some of these. This is going to be my main photo, and I saw Allie Edwards do this on her December daily recently, where she had a flip up on her photo for journaling. And normally I will just print my journaling directly on my photo, but I decided to do what she did because I thought it would be an interesting addition to the album rather than just putting my photo on there, or my journaling on there. So you saw just for a second, you'll see again that spectacular and with the number. I made that using the collection that I'm using, which is called Tinseltown. It's from Kristen Cronenbarrow at Sweet Shop Designs. It's a very light base, like almost Christmas light base, I guess is what it is, but it works really well for us out on Broadway seeing opening night of Jagged Little Pill. My bestie won tickets and I was lucky enough to get to go with her, and it was just wonderful. We had no idea what the show was about, and it was just so powerful and so good, and we just had a really great time. Of course, we're the perfect generation to be big Jagged Little Pill fangirls, so the show was just wonderful. So I'm building up a title card with that night fluorescent light and magical, so it says magical night. I put a paper behind the words, and now I'm just adding some pink stars to make it a little bit more interesting, and I will just print that as all one piece, all one journaling card. Then I'm matting my other photos on some of these other papers. I decided to go a little bit lighter with this one just so that everything wasn't so heavy. Then I wanted to add this frame to lighten up this dark photo as well, so I'm going to put it underneath the photo. I will be printing my photos separately, so the cards will get printed all as one piece, but the photos will get added in real life. I decided to add these rainbow glitter dots to the top of the page, and then also I'm going to add some photo. I'm going to add some bokeh lights too, just because there was so much black and heavy color up there at the top. I thought that lightened it up a little bit, and it looks like it's part of the photo too, which is cute. There were a lot of LGBTQ themes in the play, so I thought that the rainbow worked out well. Also, it kind of mimics their signs too. Okay, so now we're going to move into real life. I have everything printed. I have folded that card that I made that's going to be the flip up for my journaling, and I did design this. I took a long time and designed this to cut out right in with my silhouette, but of course my silhouette gave me fits, and I decided whatever, I'll just do it myself. So I'm getting out my X-Acto knife and I'm cutting out just a flap that is 1/4 of an inch in, or an 1/8 of an inch in on either side of this card. And then I'm not cutting the top edge because I want it to flip up rather than you know, come off completely. So I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife at the bottom as well. Perfect. So now I've got a flap, and I am going to make it so that it folds easy. All right, so now I can add my journaling, and it's just all going to sit like this right on my photo. I'm going to add my journaling underneath that I've already printed out. And then on the top edge, or on the top flap, I'm going to add that photo, secondary photo from the play. And that'll keep it nice and stiff as well. The paper is a little bit floppy because it's not super thick, so that'll keep the flap nice and stiff. I'm going to trim it, and I'm also going to use my circle punch to punch a little half circle out of it. That way you can see that it opens up. Not that it sits very close, but you can see that it opens up a little bit easier. Perfect. Oh, I love it. Okay, so now I'm going to take my ticket from the play, and I'm going to layer it with this photo. I didn't know what I wanted it to see. Like, you're not going to be able to see the whole thing, so I think I just wanted to put Jagged Little Pill. There's like so many iterations of Jagged Little Pill on this spread, it's funny. So I just wanted to make sure that you could see the date and the time and the play name. I ripped this off, and I'm going to use it somewhere else, but then I changed my mind later and just add it back to the journaling card. Okay, so I've got everything in its pockets, and I want to add in this playbill as well. Don't worry, I have two. So I took this one apart actually and put it back together so that it's a little bit thinner. I took out all of the ads, and then I mounted it on this acetate that I printed one of the papers on, so it's got this cool bokeh effect. And then I decided to print out this photo, which I didn't actually love this photo, and I wasn't going to include it originally, just because it's imperfect with the lights and all of that. I accidentally put Merry Night on there and then realized that it said night on the next page as well. So then I changed it to, it said Merry, or actually no, it said something about night, magical night, on the next page as well. And so I actually changed it to opening night to reflect that we were there on opening night. Just gonna staple some trim here just because it's purple, and this is gonna be like the only purple spread in the whole book probably, so I just went all in on the purple, and this just gives it a little bit more heft to the outside edge. I'm gonna put this back on here. I put that big photo on the back of the playbill because I didn't want to see the back of the playbill, which was another ad, so that was perfect. Now I did struggle a lot with these cards and like embellishing them, and I don't actually end up embellishing them very much because of that. I'm just gonna put this star on here after, trust me, like forever trying to figure out what I wanted to put on there. I just ended up with that star. I just couldn't find anything that like worked well and made sense. I pulled out a bunch of Citrus Twist embellishments from their Oh What Fun collection. Those flowers are just from my stash, but the other things are from the Oh What Fun collection, and I end up using like this snowflake and that adhesive velvet trim just because it matches pretty well. Then I'll add a little heart too and call it good, I think. I don't do much else besides that. I'll be honest, this page really frustrated me for a long time. And so I just kind of ended up putting it away. Sometimes you just have pages like that where they just don't quite match what you wanted from the page. But that's okay. The story is documented and in my album and everything. I mean, the page is pretty. It's just not as decorated as I wanted it to be. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back to it. I doubt it, though. All right, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There's a link in the description box below to the blog post for this page if you want to see the credits and the still images. All right, thank you.